The setting sun bathed the village of Uli in hues of gold and crimson. Nestled at the heart of the savannah, Uli was a place where every blade of grass whispered secrets and the winds sang ancient songs. Here, the people believed that a name was not just a word, but a destiny. The elders often said, "A name is like a seed. Plant it well, and it will grow into a mighty tree. Plant it carelessly, and it will wither into nothingness." This is the story of Namdi, a boy whose name bore a secret so profound it would change the fate of his family and his entire village. On a bright morning, under the watchful gaze of the great baobab tree, a woman named Adana gave birth to her first child. Adana was known for her radiant smile, her intricately braided hair adorned with cowrie shells, and the brightly colored Ankara cloth she wore like a queen. Her husband, Obina, was a hunter, tall and strong, with skin that gleamed like polished mahogany. He was a man of few words, but his actions spoke volumes. When Adana handed him the newborn, he looked into the baby's eyes and said, "We shall call him Namdi, for he shall be my legacy." In the Igbo language, Namdi meant, "My father is alive." It was a name meant to honor the ancestors and signify continuity. But in his haste, Obina had not sought the blessings of the village elder, Baba Ogidi, as tradition required. As the days turned into weeks, strange things began to happen. The village cattle wandered into the forest and never returned. The once bountiful yam harvests began to fail. The winds, which usually brought the scent of blooming acacias, carried an eerie silence. Adana noticed that Namdi would often stare at shadows, giggling at things unseen. At night, his cries pierced the air like a warning bell, sending shivers down her spine. Desperate, Adana visited Baba Ogidi, who sat under the baobab tree, his white beard flowing like a river of wisdom. Clad in a robe of woven raffia, he held a staff adorned with charms and feathers. "You did not ask for the ancestors' blessing before naming the boy," Baba Ogidi said, his voice heavy with reproach. "A name is not just a word. It is a bridge to the spiritual realm. You have named your son without guidance, and now the spirits are restless." One moonlit night, Adana had a dream. In it, a woman cloaked in shimmering light appeared. Her voice was like the rustle of leaves and the murmur of rivers. "Adana," the woman said, "your son's name is a key. It opens doors to realms beyond your understanding. But beware, for some doors should never be opened." When Adana awoke, she told Obina of her dream. He dismissed it, saying, "Dreams are the whispers of tired minds. Our son's name is his, and that is the end of it." But Adana could not shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. One day, a stranger arrived in Nkiru. He was draped in a flowing robe that shimmered like the scales of a fish, and his eyes were pools of endless depth. He introduced himself as Isa, a storyteller and traveler. Gathering the villagers around the communal fire, Isa began to tell tales of names that carried power. He spoke of a woman named Ifeoma, whose name meant good things, and who brought prosperity wherever she went. He told of a man named Chima, meaning God knows, who was protected from harm because of his faith. Then he paused and looked directly at Adana and Obina. But there are also names that invite trouble, names given without understanding their weight. Adana's heart raced. She knew he was speaking of her son. Haunted by Izi's words, Adana and Obina decided to visit the oracle of Ani, the goddess of the earth. The journey was treacherous, through dense forests and across roaring rivers. Adana carried Namdi on her back, her colorful Ankara cloth wrapped tightly around him, while Obina led the way with his spear in hand. At the oracle's shrine, a mysterious woman with painted skin and braided hair adorned with beads awaited them. Smoke from burning herbs filled the air as she chanted ancient incantations. The name Namdi, the oracle said, binds him to a restless spirit, an ancestor who died with unfinished business. You must rename the child and perform a cleansing ritual, or the village will suffer. The village gathered under the baobab tree, everyone dressed in their finest traditional attire. Women wore colorful jeel head wraps, and men donned embroidered agbada. The drummers played rhythms that echoed into the heavens, summoning the ancestors. The ritual began with Baba Ogidi leading a prayer, his staff raised high. A white goat was sacrificed, and its blood was used to cleanse Namdi. The oracle chanted, calling upon the restless spirit to release its hold. Finally, Adana and Obinna renamed their son Chukwumeka, meaning God has done well. From that day, the strange occurrences ceased. The cattle returned, the yams flourished, and the winds carried the sweet scent of acacias once more. Namdi, now Chukwemeka, grew into a strong and kind young man, embodying the blessings of his new name. Easy, the storyteller, departed as mysteriously as he had arrived, leaving the villagers with a lesson they would never forget. A name is not just a word, it is a destiny. As the flames of the communal fire flickered and the villagers danced under the starlit sky, Adana whispered to her son, "Your name carries power, my child. Never forget that." And so the story of Namdi, now Chukwuemeka, became a tale passed down through generations, a reminder to parents everywhere. Choose a name with care, for it shapes not just the child, but the world around them.